All right, we're live, and we're Stacy-less today because Stacy doesn't have any power. That's right, my friends. Second show in a row, we have power issues. I specifically told everybody not to have power issues this week, but Stacy didn't listen. No, but seriously, he's just having a storm, and I guess it knocked his power out. So if he gets his power back, I'm sure he's going to jump on here and join us, but I wouldn't hold your breath. Let's go ahead and get started with what everybody got this week. If you got anything cool or interesting, or if you saw anything interesting in the forums or anything like that. So anybody want to start?
I'm trying to think. This is my stack of mail I have yet to record, and this is how bad it's gone. I just keep throwing everything in here. I got a soccer player in, I know that.
Feed your sources. So you got a soccer player in there.
I did. Okay. He's buried in here. That's like the highlight.
Which nation did he play for? And just give us that at least.
I don't know. The Revolution, I think. Who knows?
The Revolution? That sounds like a WNBA team.
No, I have a box of like I don't know, probably 200 soccer cards I periodically like to send out, and I don't even know what half these guys are.
I too like to torture myself.
Yes. I can't do it. If stuff is sitting there, I have to get it out.
I understand. Totally understand.
But
any more than Michael's? Oh, wait. Go ahead, Andy. You got
I'm sorry. No, but it's been a terrible RTS week. I think I'm up to, like, in the last 2 weeks, maybe 40 RTSs that came back.
You know, I've been hearing that, like, I think Troy was talking about how bad some people were saying TTMs are this year. I'm not a TTMer, so I don't know. Are you guys feeling that? Troy said he's having the best year he's had in a long time. So,
hey, Andy, is that addresses off Star Tiger? Or you guys, is that something you're researching yourself?
Mixture, mostly Star Tiger and the Harvey list. I've been using a lot. Very few of mine that I found have come back. But, the Harvey list is already, what are we in August? We're almost a year old, 10 months old. So a lot of them have been coming back from that. But I'm looking forward to, like I said last time, in October, I get about 500 current players I'm sending out. So I can't wait to get about at least 150 of those back right off the bat.
Hey, it's only one stamp you're wasting, not two. So you're good, man.
Yeah, you got to try.
Yeah.
Plus, again, they're sitting in a big box. I just have to get the hell out.
Yep. All right, Michaels, you guys get anything?
Yeah, I got a ton of stuff sitting here, so I'll go. Brooks Robinson is still signing, FYI. I included a donation, but anytime you can get a Hall of Famer, take advantage of it. Always good to add to the collection. Jesse Ventura, still signing.
The body.
Yeah. I got him in the past, but, you know, I'm double dipping because I find cool pictures that I don't have signed. Cool promo picture, him and Vince. I got the Predator one signed again, but you guys remember these? The LGN figures, the little, like, rubber ones? Oh, yeah. I had a poster of him, so double dipping on him.
He's got a house down in Mexico. I watched a podcast with him recently, and I think he's spending a lot of time down in Mexico now, too. Kind of like, what do you call it when you detach from the internet and, like, life?
Going dark?
Like,
yeah, he goes dark down there. It's a dark house. So if you wanted to freak Jesse Ventura out, find the address to his dark house. Send him a TTM. Actually, don't do that. You'll ruin all the TTMs for everybody else.
Yeah, he calls it like his bunker.
Yeah.
Is what he calls it down there.
It's crazy.
So isn't he?
Double dipped on Wilford Brimley. I got him in the past, the natural, but I didn't realize he was in the Ewok Battled Indoor. So I had to get him for a Star Wars collection. So a couple of photos, diabetes.
He was also in Seinfeld. Like 1 or 2 episodes or something.
Nice.
What was he on Seinfeld?
I don't know. I just remember sending something Seinfeld to him.
he worked for like the post office because what was it? Michael Richards' character was refusing his
the mail.
junk mail.
Yeah.
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 Also double dipped on Jack Nicklaus.
Oh, that's a smart one.
Yeah. You know, when guys like that are signing, is one of the best golfers ever.
Yeah,
It's horrible to say, but take advantage of it because
absolutely.
they're not going to be around forever. And hey, it cost me $1.
Did he
Actually,
sign 1 or 2?
2.
Yeah.
If you request a picture for Nicholson, he sends back a really nice color the 10x8 of him with like a few of his trophies.
I think I've got that, like the art collage, and he's
exactly
on the bridge. I think I got that in the past, but just a couple of photos for my 4x6s, black and white. 2 Archer, of course.
That's a good hundy right there.
Yeah. What? We don't do that. Did some research. You guys remember Gilbert, WWE, the spoof on Goldberg?
I don't remember that, but that's hilarious.
Oh yeah, there was a whole thing. They spoofed Goldberg, but he sent me something cool. In the 80s, they did the Toxic Turtles. It was basically 2 guys dressed up as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and they did it for a couple matches before they got a cease and desist order. But he sent me a couple cards, so that was pretty cool. He was actually one of the guys in the costumes.
How'd they think they were getting away with that? That was exactly like a Ninja Turtle.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
Exactly to the T. Wow.
Yep. It is a Ninja Turtle costume.
He's got a big, what's he got hanging down there? He's got some elephantitis going on, man.
Turtle in a half shell.
It's not even like they try to be somewhat different from him.
Oh, no. Just
They're like dead on.
The movie came out, and they went with it. Let's see. Got a private address somewhere. Well, not listed on Star Tiger. So what I'm doing is I'm kind of doing 75% Star Tiger and then about 25%, my own research. Natasha Watley, she was a softball player for Team USA, but she did not have a good address on Star Tiger. So here's a little tip for everyone. People with weird names, it's a lot easier to find private addresses.
Weird spouse names too.
Yeah, true. When it's not Joe Smith, there's 100 Joe Smiths. You can find a Natasha Watley pretty easily. So just little tip for you guys. If you're looking for something that's not published on Star Tiger or any of the other sites, helps if the name's a little off.
I know. I was looking up a former minor leaguer the other day. His name is Todd Smith. You know how many freaking Todd Smiths there are in the world? I gave up after a little bit. I was like, I can't just keep going. So I actually went to Star Tiger and said, "You find it for me."
Well, some guys get like your mail. It's the wrong Todd Smith. He's like, God damn it! I'm not this Todd Smith.
Yeah, I mean, you know how many Todd Smiths there are in the world.
This one's funny. I don't know if I pop up on the big screen. From Night at the Museum, Sacagawea. Her name's like Mizuho Peck. Found a couple cool photos, but I don't know if you can see this one. It's them riding in the cab or wherever they're going. But if you see, there's a cat right there. She wrote down at the bottom, she's like, haha, the cat's not actually in the movie. I didn't realize that when I printed the photo. Somebody photoshopped their cat into this photo. And I didn't realize it, so I sent it, and she's like, the cat's not in the actual movie, and wrote it down there in the inscription. So
that's always awesome.
Oh, yeah. That will stay in mind. So it was a good week. Just some random stuff. Like I said, just taking advantage of who's signing on Star Tiger and hitting some of the big ones again.
Absolutely. Michael, did you get anything in?
No, not really. But
boo.
I've been starting to get a little
boo,
bit together.
Michael, boo. Go ahead.
But I've been starting to get dive in a little bit into TTMs again. I've been putting together some lists.
Cool. You gonna do this like mini
collections?
Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I was thinking about. I have a ton of sports cards. I might do some of them, and then I started a a collection years ago, getting photos of actors who played presidents of the United States. I was going to do like a whole thing of it. I got some in before, then I haven't worked on it like 2 or 3 years, so I might get back to working on that.
That's a cool mini collection. I love that. That's a really good idea. You get a
picture of them as presidents, and then you get a picture of the White House, and you put it together with that.
That's cool, man.
And I got a few of the obvious ones like Bill Pullman and Martin Sheen and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's a lot of that passed away. Those would be hard to get, but like that's one of those collections you could always strive for. Oh, there's always something to do on, because they're always making new movies with new presidents. So, yeah, that'd be a fun one. I agree on that. On my end, obviously I don't do TTMs, but I buy things to sell because I'm a dirty eBayer. And I got in an autograph book, but not an autographed book, an autograph book, the old-timey album you take with you and get signed by a bunch of celebrities. This is not signed by Hollywood stars, however, like a lot of them that I buy. This is a jazz autograph book, and I know nothing about jazz. So I spent the last 4 to 5 hours today studying jazz musicians, and I now just I don't have any will to live. But I found some really cool stuff in there. There's some people. Ella Fitzgerald is in here, for example. Wow. There's a lot of bands that signed together. The listing was listed horribly, but you can see all the signatures on just one page, and a bunch of pages are this way. And I got it for a great price. I got it for $163. The Fitzgerald alone goes for a little over 100. So, and like I said, 250 signatures. A lot. There's some African American jazz musicians from the 60s that died in the 60s that I think, and 60s and 70s, that will sell for a lot because they're very rare. I was going to piece it out. Go ahead.
How are you going to like piece that together with everything smushed on like one little page like that?
I can't do it. I was going to do it. I was going to piece it out. I bought the photos. But I got it in my hands, and it's such a niche product. Like a Hollywood signed book, somebody just wants the big names, it's usually. But I've been on these forums looking up these names in this, so I have all the information. And these people are obsessive over jazz. Like it's like a little cult, a jazz cult. And I'm willing to bet I can get a crap ton of money for just selling this instead of piecing it out. And I felt bad piecing it out. Because what happens when you piece out an autograph book or an autograph album, you have to sacrifice signatures that are on the back page for the good one on the front. And that's never fun. I once sacrificed a legit Jerry Lewis for Liberace. Ooh. That was the one I remember the most. It made me sad. But so that's my plan. I'm just I went through, did my research, got all the names I could, and I'm just gonna list it and see what happens. So
yeah, you'll find a buyer.
Yeah, I think so.
What percentage of that book have you been able to decipher and find out who's who in there?
It had the bands all pretty much deciphered already, which made it real easy. The problem is jazz musicians in the 60s, I guess jazz was a very popular thing to do. So there's a ton of bands that were kind of no-namers, and they don't have wikis. Even the band might, but the people don't. So you have to go to these individual little jazz websites like fan clubs, and like even some of the singers and musicians have websites of their own because some of them are still alive. And you have to go to that and see what year the band was playing and who was in the band that year, and then match ups to the signatures to that. So I did that with 250 signatures today.
You need to look up like old like online news archive newspapers or anything like that?
There was some old books that were on Google Books that I'll look through. No newspapers though.
Did you have some jazz streaming on Pandora in the background as you did it?
I listened to some. Some were on the only place I could find some were on YouTube videos. Like they had a video of the band playing, and they had the people that were in the band in the description. So that's the only place I could find who was in the band. So I went ahead and watched the videos while I was. I mean, some of it was all right. Some of it was really just like sounded like chaos to me. I was like, eh. It's kind of not
It's
my
called
thing. It was the
elevator
60s.
music.
Everybody was high on LSD, and so whatever. Yeah, I'm really excited about this. Like when I got it in, I was really blown away about some of the people I found in there. There was a guy that was in jazz that ended up playing for the Animals, the band The Animals. He's in there. But a lot, like I said, the ones worth money are the people that died in the 60s. That I have never seen an autograph of because nobody's found one. Nobody's sold one. So we'll see.
How much do you think that book is worth?
I'm gonna try to get 1,000 for it. We'll see. Like I said, it's 250 signatures, and if you're a jazz buff, then they're probably gonna pay that. I think. You don't know until you put it up.
Is there any dates on the inside of it?
Yep, it's all dated. When it was signed and the club it was signed at. Each page.
So the person you got it from, did they have it? Like, was it a family?
There's
thing,
a couple
or?
pages missing, and I was like, "Oh man," because that's never a good sign. When you get an autograph book and there's a few pages missing, that means somebody took the good people out and sold the rest of the autograph book. But when I looked at who was taken out, it was like no namers. So I guess the pages fell out and they just weren't retrieved. There was only like 3 pages missing. So I don't know. I don't think the person that sold it originally had it, or they probably would have had those extra pages. But I think it was passed down to them, or they bought it a long time ago because they said it was in their garage for years. They said so, and it was in the UK. It was in the UK. Condition is a little rough. The binding's holding together, but some of the pages are falling out. Also, a lot of the signatures are on pieces of paper that were taped in. So there's some tape marks over some signatures, but the big signatures actually were hand signed in the book. Most of the pieces of paper were bands. They sent a piece of paper back to the band or whatever, and they signed it, and then they pasted it in the book. But yeah, it's pretty amazing. I love that stuff. It makes a lot of money.
Does it have anywheres in there who the original owner was?
Yeah, but I don't know if I want to say who it is. I don't know. I mean, nobody's gonna do anything here. But they live in.
It's really, big deal. I was so serious.
Yeah, no, I'll tell you where they're from. They're from Dublin, and a lot of these clubs were in London that this was signed at. So, yeah, it's real interesting. But that's enough about that. We'll see how it does. I'll update you guys next week or 2 weeks from now on how it does. But anyways,
when's it going up?
It's gonna be a lot of work to list. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take pictures of the ones that are worth the most money, probably like 6 of them, and then say you can request photos of specific pages if you want them. I already have the list of all the research was done today, so I have the giant list of people in the book already ready to go, copy and paste into eBay. So that part's done. It's hard to take photos of a brittle book though, so you have to I can't use my scanner because I'll break the binding, so I'll have to use my phone. So, oh, Stacy.
So one thing I did get in, you asked, I just looked over here really fast, is, I don't know if you guys recognize the George Brett Pine Tower game.
Tim McCullough.
Yeah, it was Tim McCullough. I got the other umpire.
Umpire.
Drew Cole, I believe his name was. Up this side.
Haven't I seen somebody get George Brett back TTM?
No, I tried though.
Oh, I tried
too.
I
tried to bribe him.
That's Garrett. He gets in everybody.
Oh God, yeah, he has actually gotten him, I think, twice.
Totally.
Oh, it's Troy. What's going on,
Hey,
Troy?
what's going on?
Oh, we filled our Iowa quota.
We don't need a Stacy Schaefer.
Yeah.
Stacy, you've been replaced, my friend. Troy, what'd you get in this week?
Oh, shoot. They're downstairs.
Just off the top of your head. Don't have to get everything.
I just got in today a Fred McGriff
Really?
baseball.
Crime dog, man.
Yeah. And there was one other one today, but can't remember what it was.
Now you're switching away from baseball signatures into Hollywood 8x10s. Is that correct?
I want to. I've been eyeing this $1,000 dye sublimation printer, where I could print my own 8x10s like lab quality on my desk, and so I'm
So
trying.
how many photos do you have to print for that to be worth
a lot
investment?
A lot, but each roll prints like 200 something 8x10s. So
yeah, 8x10s are actually a little expensive online. I forget. 4x10s are so much cheaper.
And postage. So that's my plan. I don't know when I'm going to do it, but hopefully I'll switch over. So
how much is a new roll every time? Once you do 200, then what?
I think it's like 129.
So 129 to 200.
Yeah.
I have always said that if I ever hit like mega millions, huge money, I would actually have one of those printers, like one of those big industrial, like Kodak ones.
Well, it's
whack up pictures.
Yeah, it's not like the ones that they have at the labs. It's more of one of the ones that they have at at athletic events and competitions and stuff like that, or conventions where you get your picture taken with someone and it prints it right there. But it's pretty good quality, and I don't know. I just can't pop on it. I just keep debating because that means more postage as well.
You just gotta do the math in your head to make it make sense.
Yeah,
that's what I do. If I want something, I just like, well, I don't have to eat this week. I don't have to eat. I'll be fine.
Ramen.
And then you just make it work.
Ramen, the breakfast, lunch, and dinner of champions.
Now, are you going to do exact postage? How do you do? I know you can get stamps that equal exactly what you need for the envelope.
Right.
So you're gonna I know they have stamps.com you can actually do, and they get like a certain percentage off of postage if you subscribe and all that stuff. If you're sending out that many 8x10s, I don't know how much you save on stamps.com, but you think that might be a choice just to get. You have to put postage probably like stamps on it to get it back, but to send it there, if you do enough, I don't know if that would be worth it or not.
Yeah, I subscribed to them once, and I think it's still like $9 a month, or maybe it's 12 now. But
what percentage is it off?
I don't know. I usually just go to the post office and just do, $1.50 there and $1.40 back, and just to make sure that I'm good.
Yeah, flats are. I forgot flats are cheaper than everything I send has to be first class, so it's always over at least $266. That's the lowest I can spend on shipping. So
you don't send your stuff media mail?
Yeah. I mean, the media mail is like $317, but the cheapest is first class if it's in that weight range.
Huh.
So
I always thought media mail was like the cheapest, the slowest, but the cheapest.
It's the cheapest if it's bulky. Like if it's a book, if it's bulky, then definitely you can't send it first class because first class only goes up to £1, and then it goes to priority. So definitely. If it's a book, it's media's the best.
Yeah, I used to send out a lot of books and magazines. They used to say that all along. Like, what do you have in there? I'm like, oh, it's a magazine. They're like, oh, media mail. I'm like, perfect.
Actually, magazines don't qualify. I don't think they got ads in them.
The guy knew what I was doing, so he's like, we'll call it media. I'm like, okay, stamped away on the outside of it.
You should send it. Well, you can't do that. Actually, it has to be only the book product or the media products. You can't have extra things in it.
Yeah, he didn't know.
Here's my backlog though of what I need to do videos on. So
nice.
It's not as big as Andy's backlog when he gets on, but
Well, none of ours are as big as. By the way, Troy, I really like the new video style. I meant to tell you that. I think I did on text, but actually, I don't know if you guys know, but Troy does videos on YouTube. Amazing editing, and I when we did the first show back, I said if I did TTMs again, TTM videos, I would talk more about the person and educate more about the person, because that's something I regretted I didn't do back in the day. I kind of just said, this is so and so. Okay, next. And Troy's doing that now. When he gets somebody in, he gives us little factoids about the person. And that I watch your videos every single time now because I just want to learn about people.
Yeah,
So
I got dinged the first couple times by YouTube for the video highlights
Right.
from Major League Baseball. So
and that's a
kinda
lot
had
of
to
work, and you know that
cut
that's
that out.
that was going to drive you crazy in the long run anyway.
Yeah.
I like the just little factoids that you throw in. I think that's very helpful.
Yeah, I had one today. Actually, a video I did. It didn't come out today yet, but this guy, Mike Timlin, he was actually at the concert in Las Vegas during the shooting.
Yeah.
Really,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
So I put that little fact in the video.
And not that
So-
the fact that he won the World Series with the Red Sox. Thanks.
No, that's all.
Whatever.
That's all. Let's see. What did I say? I said, oh, actually, I did. No, I didn't put the World Series. I said he was with the Red Sox, but yeah.
Oh, time to edit that.
Noma!
Time to edit that.
So now I know what your comment's going to be.
Well, I think that the facts really it could motivate people to actually send to that person because like, oh, I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Have
Like,
you
I'll let
guys-
to this person now.
Have you guys seen these stamps here
Like
that just came out?
It's supposed to be upside down, isn't it?
No, that's the original one. But these came out, these forever stamps, and they're kind of cool. They actually have a texture to them. It's like almost embossed. It's really neat.
so that's just a counterfeiting
Yeah.
tool.
It's a yeah, I guess, but it's pretty cool.
Well, it's just a matter of time before they get the reused stamp people.
Yeah.
Old Bloodspawn's gonna be in prison.
Oh no.
Yeah, you can't pull those. Yeah, you can't pull those off.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know why they don't do that on the stamps. Whenever you put it on something, have it do they do it on the COA stickers, where if you take it off, it leaves part of it on the document. It makes sense that you would do that on stamps. Obviously, they want to make stamps for as cheap as possible, but it can't be crazy expensive to do that. I mean, you can get so many COA stickers for so cheap.
Just have your mailman do this. He takes a Sharpie to mine.
What? Really?
Douchebag mailman.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
I would complain.
I
I'm a
can't
stamp
reuse these.
collector,
I can't
sir.
reuse my stamps.
I put these stamps in a book, and you're ruining them.
They're collector's items, you know.
I don't even think the adhesive ones today you can dissolve in water like you could the old ones, right? The gum ones you could just take them off. But.
Yeah, what was it? You put it over like a tea kettle with the steam, and they would
Right.
just peel it off.
Another trick is like if you peel it off and you accidentally mess up one side, you put a fresh stamp over the side you messed up, like you just accidentally overlap the stamps. Use that noggin. But don't do that, kids. It's illegal. You will go
That's
to
illegal.
prison.
Yeah.
This is back when I was poor and college kid, which isn't a good excuse. And I didn't do it. I'm just saying that possibly somebody did it once.
Yeah, your roommate did. He was a bad
I
influence.
saw somebody do it
Yeah.
once on a TV show.
I'm asking for a friend. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for a friend.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
Andy.
that's good.
Andy, I got a question. I see you did some photos there. Matte or glossy?
Matt,
Are you? Okay.
I've had bad luck with the glossies. I believe those were mattes, but those I did that picture years ago, and I had McCullen on it. Then I actually found it buried the other day, and I was like, "Oh, let me send it out." I'm up to like I don't know, maybe 15 pictures I sent out this year. I'm plugging away.
Easy.
I'm slowing down. No, I'm dying to get back in the pitches. I really am. But I'm an 8x10 guy.
Yeah.
The little pitches drive me nuts. I'm sorry. I mean, I still have these little things, these little G.I. Joe things I still got to get out. But
Hey, there's a free signing of that guy where Neri's doing that.
yeah.
Send it in.
For his power bill over there. But so I like 8x10s. I mean, but I might have to go to those little pitches that you do that fit in those envelopes and give that a whirl. But that's next year. I'm already planning for 2019.
You know,
Wow.
I've actually had more smearing on the glossies or on the mattes than the glossies, but
Hmm.
I enjoy the mattes more because they don't get fingerprints all over them when I touch them.
Right.
Like the glossies, like the first time you pick it up, it's like, oh, that's ruined forever because I have a fingerprint on it. I mean, not ruined, but like it's not perfect. And even the guy that's signing it probably has his fingerprints all over it. So I don't know. I like the matte photos because they don't hold fingerprints, but I have had more of them smear.
No,
on
you
me.
know, I actually got in the other day with Jim Palmer. I sent him 2 cards, one for my set, and he smeared both of them. I
Oh.
sent him the donation. I'm like, this guy is a seasonal pro. I think he knows to let it kind of dry. And he threw them both in, and they both were completely smeared right across. It's in that pile someplace.
Isn't he known for kind of being a douche nozzle?
I mean, I don't know, but he's cheap enough. I mean, he's charging it cheap enough, but I would
Well,
think he would know. Hey, let it dry before you put it in.
Wasn't he like basically
How
a
much
male
does he
model
charge?
or something when he was playing?
Underwear ad. Yep.
Yeah, underwear model.
Yeah. What's his fee right now?
Yeah, yeah. How much does he charge?
I threw $20 in for 2 cards,
Wow.
Yeah, that's not
but
bad.
again, I needed one for my set, and I had an extra one next to it. So I was like, I got it back. I was like, all right, put this right with the set, and of course, it's all screwed up.
That sucks
that
because
stinks.
Caleb sent to Refrigerator Perry, sent him a donation, and he signed in the silver Sharpie, whatever, on a glossy, and it smeared completely off. So it just
Good. He deserves that for all the shit that he's been getting in lately. He deserves a couple of screwed up ones.
just sucks when you pay for it.
Yeah.
So you guys don't write back when that happens?
You know what? I got tempted one time where I was it like last year I saw Mario Lemieux was signing before he stopped, and I got in right when I saw it, and it's pretty bad. I still got him sitting here. He signed in like the weakest like gold silver. He signed 2 or 2, but it's like faded on me. And I was tempted to mail him back like, hey, can I actually get like a dark, like an actual color? But then he got flooded and he shut down, sent him back the
shit,
2
yeah,
busy
dude,
ones.
that's big money, man. Those Lemieux sell pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, again, he just out of the blue started signing, and then he got flooded and
That's what happens when
shut
you
it
guys.
right down. And of course, I get them, and they look like crap.
I'll share
Yeah.
this one. This isn't a paid one, but so Jim Lavelle, the guy in the white suit attached to Lee Harvey Oswald when he was shot.
Jack Lovell?
Jim
Jack Ruby.
Lavelle.
Lavelle, yeah.
Lavelle.
Level was Apollo 13.
There you
I
go.
know. Way awesome.
So found a cool photo, sent to him. I've got him before, but he inscribed the photo, but forgot to sign it.
Oh,
man.
So I have these. I'm probably going to send these back to him and just be like, hey, can you sign these?
Dude, that reminds me of my experience with Cy Berger. Cy Berger is the guy that created the 1952 top set.
Yeah.
And he was like in his 90s when I wrote to him, and I had an authentic 1952 card, but it was of some random player. It wasn't, of Cy Berger, but I wanted Cy to sign it because he created the set. And it took me sending that damn card to him 3 times before he understood. He's like, the first time he's like, you accidentally put this card in here. And I had to write back to him. I was like, no. I said, I want you to sign it since you created the set. And then he wrote back. He's like, why would you want me to sign this card? It's not me. And I had to write to him again for the 3rd time. I said, well, because you created the set, and it'd be cool to have you sign the card of the set you created. And actually, I take that back. The 2nd time, he signed it, but he signed the back. So he signed it on the back where the stats are. And then I was like, can you please sign the front? And then he signed the front. So I signed by him on the front and the back. I still have that card. That was when I was trying to collect some of the classic sports cards that were like beginning a trend. If you guys remember that 1996 Upper Deck game used jersey set that had the Griffey and the Gwynn. I actually have a Ray Ordonez from that set because it's the cheapest one. And I don't know. I just wanted cards that kind of revolutionized the hobby, and that burger one was one. And then the 1996 game used jersey card was another, because that started the whole trend of everything's game used now. Anybody else have any? Go ahead.
This guy smears all the time too. Adeni Hechevarria. Every return on Instagram is smeared.
There was about 3 returns that week. You got yours in. Same thing.
Everybody's like, "Do you know the baby powder trick?" I'm like, "No, it's in the book."
Well, I am way too lazy.
Hey, guy that wrote a book on TTMing, did you know this trick?
Have you restarted your computer?
I mean, they're trying to be helpful, so what can I do?
I'll throw a free plug in for Troy while we're sitting here. If you guys haven't bought Troy's book, go to Amazon now, type in Troy Rudder autograph. It should pop up, and buy his book. It's amazing if you're a collector right now. Like it's got some great tools.
And it tastes good, right, Andy?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
How
you
many
guys
of
don't
you
know.
guys started like back in the day with like Jack Smalling's baseball like actual book?
Oh, I did.
Yeah, he actually lives down the street.
Nice. I wrote to
Yeah.
him. I had him sign
Yeah.
a couple pictures.
Yeah.
I have a couple.
Didn't
of
he
his-
write Didn't he write a thing for your book, Troy?
Yeah, the forward.
The forward. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I got started. Well, I started doing stadiums. Then I discovered the Smalling book and went from there.
Michael, were you saying
Is
something?
he still making new? I was saying I got a couple of his books signed by Smalling. Is he still doing new editions? Because I haven't bought one in years.
Did one 2 years ago. I don't know if he's done one yet. His
I
email
would think he
actually
would be online by now.
his email actually bounced the last time I tried to email him, so I don't know.
Well, walk down there then.
Excuse me, Jack. Can I have your email, please?
It's hot outside.
Come on, Sonny.
Is his son? Was it his son David took over his business though?
Yeah. And not only I don't know if you guys knew this. I think I might have mentioned it in the book or not, but not only does he live down the street, when he wrote the forward for it was before that. The house that I started doing videos in the upper room there when I first started with you, Zane and Stacy, that was actually Smalling's house growing up.
Really?
Get out.
Yeah.
That's
So-
crazy.
And when I moved in, he had just moved his elderly mother out, and her, well, maybe I shouldn't say this. Her suit that she was going to be buried in was still in the closet, and so I had to.
Oh. Yeah, that's crazy, man. I didn't know you had that close of a connection to Smalling.
Yeah. I bought his childhood home.
I would be tearing down the walls looking for signed cards. And
Digging up the
Andy,
backyard.
Yeah.
nothing. Oh
a
man.
mayo job buried under the porch.
That's crazy.
No, what I was gonna say before is I got the Troy's book there, and the very first day I got it, I put it on my coffee table, and my dog ate it. Like I didn't even open it. I opened the package, I flicked through it, and I put it down. Then I don't know. I left, and like an hour later, I came back. It was in shredded pieces all over the floor. So that's what we say. The dog really enjoyed it.
Well, Andy, maybe you should get the ebook then, buddy. That way, nothing happens.
No. Troy was nice enough to send me a replacement copy,
Oh, okay.
which is
Yeah.
safely guarded.
Yeah, and I'm sure. Troy, is your address up on Star Tiger?
The PO box in California is still up there.
You need to update your Star Tiger listing, my friend.
Yeah.
That way, if somebody wants to send you the book to get signed, they can.
I'll put
Yeah, I
a
have-
request in tomorrow for it.
Don't forget
actually-
Kids in the Biz.
That's
we
right.
We could get that one.
Well, it doesn't affect me. So, but I did see it on there. It's got really good ratings. So,
Yeah. So,
um,
well, thank you. It was fun.
I've talked to Troy about this. I think he should write more books about little niche things like that. I think he's really good at capturing a hobby or an idea of a community. So,
And he can
I'm trying to push
audio
him to write
book
more.
his own books.
I know
That's
it's
a
pain.
plus.
It's not as easy as just writing something. I know there's a lot more that goes into it, but
It was fun. It was fun.
I'm proud of Troy.
Now I got to get those entertainment 8x10s going again.
Yeah, that would be interesting to see what you get in. Are you going to use any of your connections from living in California?
Nah, I'm gonna go old school.
Hi, old school as in my name is Troy, writing children's handwriting.
Crayon. I'm 6 years old. I'm this many.
Wait a minute. Your name is Troy? I thought it was Tony.
Tony.
No, that's the alternate name he uses whenever he writes to somebody too much.
I need to count how many say Tony on it though. It is a good number. Really. Martin
we
Sheen.
love you, man.
Let's say that people did write to people too much and they used an alternative name. If that happened, hypothetically to anybody here, what name hypothetically would be used in that hypothetical situation?
You mean if someone was to write to say D. Wallace every month or something like that?
Anybody got any names they want to throw out there?
Yeah, I'm gonna go
funny
with Troy, Michael, Mike, and Zane. All right, guys, give me 1 second. I gotta go kick some kids off of Fortnite, so I'll be right back.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Jeez.
All right.
It's got to be a name that's easily removed by whatever means necessary. You know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Something short, Bob.
Not alcohol. It's too strong. I found BOD to be a good agent of removal, and that I've heard of.
The dry erase marker seems to be working fabulously, but
yeah, there's different ways, and I've tried that before, and it worked well, but I don't know. I've heard people use BOD because it's kind of watered down alcohol.
I always love the question though, because like people are like, how do you remove personalizations? So if you collect people these days, think about that back in the day. There's probably somebody that has a Babe Ruth signed photo. He's like, how do I get this personalization off? It's probably worth thousands of dollars now. And so just leave it alone.
Yep. If somebody wants it, they'll buy it.
Yeah.
I don't even worry about that. To tell you the truth, like if something's personalized and I need to sell it, I'll just mat it. Cover the personalization. Problem solved. So that's easy to take care of. I actually buy stuff. It's a little cheaper to buy personalized things, which I've always been an advocate of buying. If you're buying for your collection, I always advocate for buying personalized things because there's a higher rate of authenticity in those items. Because forgers don't tend to personalize. They do sometimes, but it's kind of a rarity. So you can Secretarials personalize those. So you still need to know the hobby. But I always advocate for that. If you can get something personalized, you'll pay a cheaper price and there'll be a higher rate of authenticity.
Rather have somebody else's name than not have it in my collection. So
exactly.
I bought before I got on TTM, I bought this Dirk Benedict, and on eBay I couldn't see it, but once I got it, you can see where they tried to remove it.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's a big no-no. You gotta, at least gotta list. You at least gotta put it in the list if you're gonna do that.
Yeah.
Say name removal.
But then I got a
excuse me
TTM in from him before he stopped signing again. So that was cool.
Yeah, they it's a risky thing on removal because if it's been there a while and it's on white, I mean, probably gonna stain.
Yep.
Especially on lithographs.
Lithographs. That's like a most lithographs are paper, aren't they?
Yeah, in the 90s, mid 90s, there was a big headshot
Upper Deck.
A big headshot printer in LA. I forget the name of it, but Anderson's or something that was really popular, and they did things that looked glossy, but they were actually lithographs.
Oh man.
and you won't get anything off of those.
Yeah, you'll get the photo off of it. I've had that happen before. I'm like, no. Oh well. Into the matte machine it goes.
Yeah, that's when you do it cut, right?
Yeah, that's a cut signature, man. Funny. Yeah, those they used to have those upper deck lithographs that were serial numbered, and a lot of those got signed. And I have a couple, and almost every signature on there is faded. I don't know what they made the lithograph out of. That was a big thing in the 90s. All they did was reprint crappy photos and called them lithographs.
Yeah,
like
they don't scan very well either. You get the dots or
the dots. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Well,
I wanted to ask you, Troy, is it true that you worked in The Apprentice?
I did for one episode.
You have any interesting Donald Trump stories?
No, it was actually, funnily enough, it was with
Schwarzenegger.
No, it was the one with who was it? Omarosa? Shoot, I can't. Oh, I'm gonna get in so much trouble. I can't remember her name here in Des Moines. Tana Gertz. Tana Gertz and Omarosa. It was the Street Smarts versus the Book Smarts or something like that. And they came to shoot the finale in Des Moines, and they needed someone to just be a grip for a day. So I went around, and he didn't come to Des Moines. We just shot a whole bunch of B-roll and interviews and stuff like that. So, but Tana, she was all over his campaign, and she's still going on CNN defending him. I think it's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
but
it's crazy how much the world has changed since then.
Yeah, it was fun for a day. You know.
Yeah,
I didn't get an on-screen credit or anything that I know of, but
how's that stuff work? Do you demand it? Do you put a request in for it, or they just automatically do it themselves?
They should just do it with a crew list, but
they're lazy with it.
I was just one guy on location. You know, what was funny was I had to actually follow them around with releases for anybody that happened to get on camera. And so as soon as they would follow Tana into a building, I had to go to the person that just left the shot and hand him a release and say, sign this, please.
It's Mr. Lemus. Mr. Lemus is here. Uh-oh. You know what? I'm seeing a trend here. Look how many freaking people are on this show right now. And guess who's not here? Stacey Schaefer. That leads me to one thing. Stacey Schaefer is poison. He's poison on the show.
Getty.
Yeah, he's off printing off Gettys, man. But like everybody's like, Stacey's not on. I'm in. Just saying,
come on,
Stacey.
he has to write those 10 letters to Dee Wallace tonight. So
that's right. So what's going on, Neri? What's up? I see you got power this week.
I do have power. It's funny that Stacey doesn't have power this week after I have power. I mean, I don't have power. It's incredible.
I told everybody to have power this week, and he didn't listen to me. So it is what it is. Go ahead, Troy.
I just said how Jack Smalling lived down the street, and I never saw him. You know who else lived down the street, and I only saw him once.
It's true.
Mr.
Troy
Lemus
lived next down the street from me for like 5 years, and I never saw him. 2 years, never saw him. I'm the worst friend in the history of the world.
Which one of you never leaves their house?
The only time we went to brunch one day, and I bumped into the guy from the
Herbert Jefferson. Right?
No, shoot. He does the commercials. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
J.K. Simmons? Was it
yeah,
J.K.
we
Simmons?
bumped into J.K. Simmons, and I said, excuse me, and Neri was like, dude, that was J.K. Simmons. I was like, who?
Yeah, he was in an Oscar movie. I don't know if he won.
Whiplash. Yeah, he won.
Whiplash.
Anyway, good to see you, Neri.
It's always nice seeing you, Troy.
Any big cons going on? Neri?
I'm actually getting ready right now. I'm prepping for SAC Anime, which is in Sacramento.
Sac.
Sacramento?
Yeah, Sacramento.
Yeah,
Sac
okay,
Anime
gotcha.
is what it's called.
I got you. So I noticed the anime conventions tend to cross over into entertainment a lot, and the horror conventions also cross over into entertainment that's not horror. Is that just kind of a thing now that cons are doing just to get more people in, or
I have no clue. I'm just gonna be honest. I have no clue.
they're just yeah? I mean, I enjoy it. Don't get me wrong. Like, I like the trend.
I think
because,
whatever will bring people in, it doesn't matter who it is, what genre, as long as it'll bring in the audience that they're desiring, which is audience people that are coming in paying for a convention. You know, they invite those guests out. So
I mean,
whatever works.
Now they're inviting YouTube and Instagram people and everything too. So,
well, I mean, they have millions and millions of followers, so it makes sense. It's about time some of these YouTube people got some respect in the the mainstream world. I mean, all the little teenagers, they have a lot of money to spend, so it's smart that they're utilizing that. I just got a Jake Paul signed book in yesterday, actually. And I already ripped the signature out because the books are like $20 on eBay. I'm gonna do a matte piece. But I think Logan Paul, I think his brother just had that big match, boxing match.
Yeah.
But anyway, Neri, you're muted. I don't know if you know you're muted.
I did not know. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I guess you accidentally muted yourself.
Well,
thanks for doing
wasn't
us the
talking,
favor,
so
Neri.
it's fine. Huh?
I'm kidding. I'm joking. I said thanks for doing us the favor. I was just making a joke. All right. Well, it's nearing time, about an hour. We usually cut it off in an hour. You guys got anything to add before we jump off here? Other than Andy's family? Nope.
Yeah,
Oh.
I can't let one show go without mentioning that Zane owns a pair of Alan Arkin's underwear.
You know what? I'll do it next show. I was gonna do something with that. I'll do it next show. I totally forgot.
I make it my mission every time I'm here to make sure I mention that. And I
Alan
hope if
Arkin's
I'm not,
underpants.
one of you guys would make sure. If I'm not here, one of you guys have to make sure you have to mention it.
Yeah. Okay. You guys got it. You gotta remind me because I'll forget.
Pants are optional next week.
Yeah. I'm just gonna stand up. I'm gonna be wearing Alan Arkin's underwear next week. I won't do that. I'll get copyrighted or I'll get flagged like crazy. All right, we're gonna jump off here. We're gonna jump off the public show. Thanks for watching, guys. It was a really good group. Thank you, Stacy, for not showing up because it worked out great. And I'll talk to Stacy. Maybe I'll leave him off the show next week, and we'll see what happens. All right, guys, that's it. And tune in next week. Remember, this is bi-weekly. I know it's called Autograph Weekly, but we're doing this bi-weekly. So see you in 2 weeks.